Introduction to HTML5 and its margin property. HTML5 provides a robust structure for web content and design. Margin property in HTML5 is used to create space around elements, outside of any defined borders. You can control the size of the margins on all four sides of an element with HTML5. Understanding HTML margin. HTML margin is the space between the border of an HTML element and the surrounding content. This space is used to separate different elements from each other to improve the readability and aesthetic appeal of the web page. Types of margins in HTML5. The margin property has four components: top, right, bottom, and left. Each property sets the margin area on the respective side of an element. An example is provided of a div element with different margins on each side. Shortcuts in setting margins in HTML5. Margins for all four sides of an element can be set at once using a shorthand property. The syntax is as follows: margin, top, right, bottom, left. An example is provided of a div element with different margins on each side, set using the shorthand property. Common error-prone scenarios and how to avoid them. Collapsing margins. Margins between adjacent elements can collapse into one. This can be avoided by using padding or border properties. Negative margins. Using negative values for margin can lead to overlapping of elements. Use negative margins sparingly and only when necessary. Margin and padding confusion. Margin is the space outside the border, while padding is the space inside the border. Conclusion. Understanding and effectively using the HTML margin property is crucial for creating well-structured and visually appealing web pages. Mastering this skill can improve the user experience on your sites, making content easier to read and navigate. Be aware of common pitfalls, such as margin collapsing and confusion with padding.